acres right now. Yeah, it's pretty big.
Wow.
Yeah, but yesterday at I don't know 5:36, Tegan needed to go to Publix to get something before we leave for Atlanta. I needed to go get diesel, and I was gonna go wash my truck.
Batteries.
No, no, she wanted fingernails. That's what she wanted, was fingernails.
She needed batteries.
Well, I literally get to the front of the neighborhood, and it's a parking lot on Pulaski. It is an absolute parking lot, and I'm going, oh my god, I have made a huge mistake. So
I'm out of mistake.
it was crazy because literally traffic is moving at like 2 or 3 miles an hour. Okay, this guy left a real big gap, so I just pulled out, and as soon as I pulled out, dude just started laying on the horn.
By the way, a lot of your dads, they should have done that too.
Yes, but I'm just like, bro, we are all going 3 miles a fucking hour. It is not like I got past you or anything like that. What the fuck are you blowing your horn at? What's going on? We are all gonna get to the same spot at the same time. Fuck off.
Yeah, nowhere fast.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, he just laid on his fucking horn. Was losing his mind in
He was
the
losing
cab.
his shit.
Oh my god, it was hilarious. I'm just sitting there laughing in the cab. I'm going, this dude, because what can you do?
You ain't going nowhere.
You're not going nowhere. There's no reason to get mad. You can't control any of this. So I just had some tunes crunk on the radio. Me and Tegan and Tyler were in there bebopping in the cab.
Let me guess. Was it rap?
Yeah, it was. Well, it was Post Malone. So I don't know. Do you call that? Dude, it was 95.1. So
Bro, how the fuck can you call that rap?
well, that's what I mean. I mean, do you call Post Malone rap?
No, you
Okay.
fucking don't.
Well, what is he? Is he pop?
Probably.
Okay. So pop rap. I don't know. I know Colby absolutely hates him with like every fiber of his being.
Who's Colby?
Little tattoo artist there at Black Hive.
Oh, from
Yeah,
Black
from Black
Hive.
Hive. He
Okay.
hates him.
I mean, I don't hate him, but I'm not. You
Oh
know,
no, he hates him.
I'm not swinging to his music or nothing.
Yeah, the kids like it. And then it was the song "Wow," so it had the you remember the guy.
I don't.
Okay, so on the news, it's been like about a month or two ago. There was a dance studio here in Jacksonville, and a guy's video went viral. He's an older gentleman. I say older gentleman. He's mid-30s, shaved head, gray beard. He's a big guy, kind of like me, and he is just ripping it up to wow. I mean, full dance routine, had it pegged. I mean, was perfect at it.
Okay.
The video went viral. Post Malone saw it. The guy went on Ellen, and the guy actually got on to be in the Post Malone's video.
That's dope. My favorite show in the world, though.
What, you like Ellen?
No,
Okay.
I was being sarcastic.
See, I'm more of a Dr. Phil guy.
Well, he's white. Of course you're going.
Oh, yeah, there we go. That's it. I always kind of hated Dr. Phil just because I just really didn't know much of him.
You feel tight.
Yeah. But then whenever
His
he was-
voice annoys me.
Yeah, but then when he was on Rogan that one time, I was like, holy shit, he's actually pretty funny.
Well, he's putting up a facade in the show.
Yeah.
You know, he can't be like a dude.
Yeah. And he was kind of like a
Because
dude.
he hangs out with Ron White.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but
Yeah.
on the show,
They play golf and shit together.
like I hate his show, but I probably would love to hang out with him.
Exactly. That's
Have
kind of how I
a few
felt.
beers, tell a few dirty jokes.
Yes.
You know.
That's kind of what I got from it. I was like, okay, so I don't like the show, but I like him.
You know who I like is Dr. Drew.
Yes.
I gotta start listening to his podcast
I have not started that
because
yet.
I see he's like a dude. He's like a regular dude.
Well, I used to listen to him from Loveline.
I could never get into Loveline. Though.
Really?
No.
I enjoyed it. Catherwood was always, because Dr. Drew's always the more professional kind
Yeah.
of thing. And then with Catherwood just going off the fucking rails. But then it used to be.
Well, wasn't it him and Corolla?
Yeah, it used to be him and Corolla way back in the day, like when it first started.
Yeah.
So
I just never got into it. I mean,
it was all right.
yeah.
It had funny, Corolla.
He
Corolla's
brought the
funny.
comedy, yeah,
Yeah.
obviously.
And that's kind of what
He was the
Catherwood-
comic relief.
That's kind of what Catherwood is a little bit more comic. So
But speaking of the news, did you see that Ukraine elected a new president,
Yes, I did.
and he's a fucking comedian?
Yes, I did.
They're talking about how they made history and blah blah blah. Like, uh, motherfucker, hold our beer,
Yeah.
hold our beer. I mean, you're talking about electing some clown. We've had clowns elected to the presidency, you know, for how long now?
Oh,
Forever.
Forever.
So hey, hold our motherfucking beer.
Mhm.
We got you beat.
I'm telling you, man, the 2020 is it's going to be interesting because you know who the Republican candidate is going to be.
Who?
It'll be Trump. Yeah. Not sure who the Democrats are going to be, but it's going to be really interesting to see what what anomaly comes out. Like, is The Rock going to throw his fucking hat into the presidential election?
He'd probably win.
He
It's The
would.
Rock.
He would.
You know, it's all about the fame now. It's not about, you know, how well you can run the country.
Well-
if you're popular among the people,
Yeah,
you know, he is the people's champion.
he is. He is. But I mean, it's kind of interesting because the guy's a comedian and he did kind of do it on a spoof, but from what I've read, some of his stances are really what the people in the Ukraine are wanting.
Yeah.
So, he said the right things. He believes the right things.
Well, everybody does that.
Yeah.
They all say the right things to get the vote
Yep.
until they get into office and they realize that, fuck, I can't do shit.
Yep. Well,
You
that's
know?
one of the reasons why, as much as everybody hates Trump and shit like that, he's been one of the few that have kind of followed through on a lot of the shit he said. Or at least he's definitely tried a lot harder than a lot of others. I know you hate it, and that's why I try to.
I don't hate it. I don't.
It gets tiresome.
I don't hate him. I don't love him. I'm
No.
indifferent. I don't care for him. Just like I didn't care for Obama.
Well, that's kind of the
just
way
like I didn't care for W.
Yeah, I kind of think that's the way it should be. It shouldn't be. You shouldn't have unconditional love or hate
Oh.
for the person.
I know.
You should be able to. There's some things I agree with. There's some things I don't agree with,
Yeah.
and you should be totally fine to do that. That's the way it should work, and that's the way it should work across the
I
board.
just don't trust any politician. Any of them.
No, it's hard to.
They all come in, with good intentions.
Yeah.
Oh, we're gonna take it all the way to Washington.
Yeah.
And we're gonna do this, and we're gonna shut the fuck up. It's the same old song and dance.
Well, and you realize it becomes the same old song and dance because the money, all the money that they have to continually campaign for and build their war chest so they can be reelected, and it's like that's why I'm a big fan of there's been a couple senators who tried to introduce term limits to people in the Senate stuff.
The people that are doing good, you don't hear about them.
No,
Because they're not trying to seek publicity.
no.
They're doing the good shit is being done behind the scenes.
Yeah, a little bit because it never, and I really think nationally, I don't know, I'm becoming more like your local election means more to you, is going to have more effect on you
Well,
than your
you're a part
national-
of that community, though.
Yeah, exactly. You're part of that community. You should know who the council people are for your district, and stuff like that, and pay a little more attention to what's going on in your city,
You ever see that movie, The Distinguished Gentleman, with Eddie Murphy?
Oh God, maybe long. I'm sure I have.
So
but
they
it's
had-
been a long time ago.
So they had this senator from Florida that would win every year, but he passed away. So he changed his name to the same because people just kept voting for the same person. So they did. I believe they didn't put a picture of him in the ballot because whatever. Just it was part of the plan
yeah.
because they were just gonna vote for him blindly anyway, and he fucking won. And then he went up to Washington,
People are like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Who the fuck is this
Who the
guy?
fuck is this guy?
Yeah.
I didn't vote for this guy.
Dude,
Yes, you
that movie was dope. But what was I gonna say? I had something on my speaking of presidential and all that bullshit. Did you hear Tommy Chung on Rogan?
I have not yet.
And oh man, then I won't spoil it.
I am.
He's got this theory on why Trump got elected, and I'm like, God damn, you must be high as fuck.
Well, yeah.
A lot of times, you would hear to what the things that he was talking about, and you're like, man, that's a lot of years of smoking weed.
Mm-hmm. Does some
But-
shit to you.
But it was, it was kind of interesting to hear his perspective.
Yeah, I mean, there again, I think that's one of the reasons why I like Rogan's podcast so much, because he can have some far left loons.
Yeah.
He can have some far right loons. And he has a lot of people that are in the center. But it's always fun to hear when it, like, I know I haven't heard Tulsi Gabbard's one yet.
She was all right.
I know Rogan's real big onto her.
She was interesting.
Yeah.
You
which
know,
is good.
she's former military.
Yep.
So, I mean, I found her interesting. Do I like her? Probably not, because she's a politician now. But,
Yeah.
But definitely very interesting.
Yeah. And I think, I don't know, I think more people, as
One thing, is she a Democrat or a Republican?
she's a Democrat.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
I was just listening to what she was talking
I
about.
believe she's a
and I
Democrat.
I didn't even pay attention to whether she was a Republican or a Democrat. I mean, she was saying all the right things, just like they all do. Just like when Andrew Yang went on Rogan, he was saying the right things.
He
Just-
was.
just like Johnson, former governor of New Mexico. When he went on, he was saying all the right things as well. So
Yeah, she's a. Let me see.
she's an independent.
No, I don't think so. No, I think she is a Democrat.
Who cares?
Yeah, Democratic Party.
It doesn't matter.
No, really.
Still.
That's the thing. It's one of those. It's all that team thing, and I'm still a big part of. I think you should take. It shouldn't be a team thing. It should be an idea thing. Who's got the best ideas? If this person's got good ideas, and then this person has good ideas, you should put those together. Doesn't
Yeah.
matter if they're Republican or
But,
Democrat,
yeah,
independent.
Exactly. I mean, when you have somebody who's like an independent and he has somebody from each party in his, in his staff or cabinet, whatever you
Yeah.
want to fucking call it, then I'd be like, all right, cool, because now everybody's being represented.
Yeah.
But when you have, somebody from one side just looking out for the one side,
Mm-hmm.
then you're going to have this side pissed off. And when you elect a guy from this side, then you're going to have this guy's pissed off.
Yeah.
And it's so divisive.
Yeah. And that's where we are now.
Yeah.
I mean, unfortunately. It's,
I mean, I got friends on both sides.
yeah. So do I.
And you know what? I could give two shits about what they post. I'm like, I see it, and I'm like, moving on.
Yeah, really.
I give two fucks about this political shit.
No. And because a lot of them have become just too team oriented.
They all are.
And you can't
They all are. That's the thing.
and you can't have a discussion. That's the biggest thing that I think people have lost the art of a discussion. Like people just cannot discuss stuff anymore.
Well, they better not discuss some of that shit with me, because I'll be like, you can all suck my ass. You all you're eating from, sucking from that titty.
Yeah.
And that titty is not good for this person, but their titty's not good for you. So, whatever.
Yep.
You
So
know.
it sucks. And as long as it's like that, it's going to be tough to ever,
Yeah.
get shit done.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which sucks because there's a lot of shit that needs to be done for the U.S. Vets need to be taken care of more. They need to do, they really need to look at the VA. They really need to fix some of the fuck ups in the VA and stuff like that. But, too many people turn it into it's all politics.
Yeah.
So it's like, this isn't a politics thing. Taxes are an everybody thing. Those need to be fixed. That's what was funny back in the day, because I kind of did.
Taxation is theft.
It is, but it was interesting. I was kind of watching the timeline of political figures and stuff like that. Then, do you remember back in the day the Ross Perot guy?
Yeah, I remember him.
Yeah.
I remember.
So
Yeah.
his antics and the way he did things changed the entire landscape of the political theater.
Well, he funded his own campaign.
He funded his own campaign. He bought his own airtime. He did
was
all
fucking
this.
billionaire.
Exactly. And, like the craziest thing was when he bought that airtime, came on national TV during prime time, and broke down the Federal Reserve and how banking, and this is what they're doing to you. And I mean, had the charts and laid it all out, and people were like, "Oh fuck, get him off." That's why you'll never see nobody can ever do that again. They passed laws and made it to where you can't do that anymore because you can't open people's eyes. You got to have people be sheep.
Yeah.
So
That's why I follow none of them.
mm-mm.
Fuck y'all.
No, I'm not a diehard for Trump. I'm not a diehard for anybody.
You love him. You love his hair too.
I love his hair. His hair's great.
Yeah.
It's great hair. It's all natural too.
It looks like ass hair from somebody.
Somebody.
Just put together. And
But it's real. So, I mean, it's there.
They're like, excuse me, sir, we run out of horse hair, but we do have some butt hair from a ginger.
Okay, deal. Put it up there.
Okay, put it in my head.
Put it in my head. Let me comb it over. I'd just like to see it wet. That is because that's when you get the real truth of the matter. Yeah, same thing with like cats. You're like, man, that's a big cat. No, it's not.
No,
Wet it.
Yeah.
It's all skin and bones. I just want to see him take a dive in a pool and come back up.
I don't think he knows what swimming is.
No, he knows.
I
what
wonder
golf
if he
is.
wears the shower cap.
Mm-mm.
I mean, he's gotta.
That's the thing, man. That's the real conspiracy. We need to see his hair wet. You get me photos of that, and
Yeah.
I'm game. I'll watch CNN for that.
Jumping in the pool.
Oh God, I'd love it.
Does the White House have a pool?
I don't think so.
No?
I don't know.
Kind of interesting, though.
It would be.
Guys, I'm going to go outside. I'm going to jump in the pool. Did you see that Justin Gage called out Conor McGregor?
I did.
Say, I'd love to fuck him up. I'm like, what? Really? I mean, how do you see that going if they actually fought?
McGregor.
You don't think that Justin will give him a fight?
I mean, it'll be a fight, but I think McGregor's hands are better.
You think so?
I do.
What about the kicks, though? Because when that motherfucker kicks you, your legs,
Yeah. I mean, you land enough leg kicks, you'll stop
Yeah.
a lot of that power.
Uh-huh.
But can you survive the power long enough to? That's always that gamble. Can you survive the power long enough landing leg kicks, and to be able for them to have an effect? Because they're not going to have an effect the first round. They're not going to. They'll start having an effect.
Man, all it takes is like a couple.
A couple, true, but I mean, they're really going to start having that effect come mid-second down into the third. When that's really, really bad. But I don't know.
I think it'd be a decent fight.
Oh, I mean, I agree. I think it would be a decent fight. I think anybody fighting McGregor would be a decent fight. Because I mean, regardless of if you like him, you hate him, he always does a decent fight.
Do you think he's going to fight ever again?
No. I mean, I don't think he will. I could be wrong. He'll probably, if he does, he may do one more. But with the amount of time he's had off, and depending on who his opponent is, I know everybody's still like they want the Diaz rematch again, and it's kind of like, yeah, but if he loses, his grappling game hasn't, you can't get to that level, not in a couple years, not the same level as Diaz. So if it goes to the ground.
Well, Justin's a wrestler. He's going to get mauled on the ground again.
Yeah. But that's just it. So he comes back.
Well, I mean, he did decent against Khabib.
Yeah. But, I mean, Khabib's, that's a different animal.
Yeah, and Khabib is in a different level.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah. Khabib's for real one of those, there's level to this shit of wrestling.
Okay, let's say that Conor has one more fight. Who do you want it to be?
Cowboy.
Cowboy?
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to see a rematch with Khabib?
No.
No?
No. I have a
What about Tony?
I have a pretty strong feeling how a Khabib rematch will go.
What about Red Panty Night for Tony?
I'm not as big of a fan as Tony as I am Cowboy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because he's white.
Oh, Jesus.
You don't want to see the Mexican have a Red Panty Night.
I love Mexicans. Their food is great.
They clean my toilets.
No, I think
we might get pulled from YouTube because
Yeah.
of that comment.
Yeah. No, I think I want to see Cerrone get it because I know it. Whoever gets it, it's a payday fight.
I know, yeah.
And I think Cowboy he's walked the walk, talked the talk. He's been down the road long enough. I think he deserves a payday fight.
Well, he makes like 400 grand a fight. Not everybody's making that kind of money.
No, but you're
He's
talking
ma-
about going from 400 grand to $1 million fight, though.
That's true.
That's a big difference.
I don't know. What about if the winner of Tony Cowboy? Then they get Red Penny night with Connor.
Okay, I'd be okay with that.
Yeah.
Because I still think it would be Cowboy.
Okay.
You know, as long as Cowboy's head is in the right spot for the fight.
Well, he came out and he said he's focused on getting that strap. He's not getting any younger.
No, he's not.
This is his last run.
Yes. Yeah, it really is.
So
He's got 2 years.
probably.
That's probably
Because he's
it.
what, 36, 37?
Yeah. He's got 2 years. He's a kid.
Yeah.
His life's changing into a different. This is becoming a new chapter, different chapter now. So yeah, this is his last run. If he makes it to the top of the mountain and loses, I don't think he'll make it that far.
Man, I was
again.
so high on him back in 2016. My brother and I went down to Orlando to the fights.
Mhm.
I think it was a fight night, but the main event, it was Cerrone against Dos Anjos for the belt. Man, I was so fucking disappointed because obviously I wanted Cowboy to win.
Yeah.
And he got starched
He did.
with like 18 seconds. I was like, fuck,
Yeah.
man.
Did you see how bad fucking? Now I know we talked about Sage last weekend, but did you see how bad he got fucked up?
Bro, he had to have surgery.
Holy shit!
He had 9 fractures in his cheekbone.
Dude,
9!
that hit did not look that strong. Not to shatter your face.
Well, it did.
It did. Yeah. I was like, ooh.
Welcome to one championship.
Right?
Well, apparently the guy has like a ridiculous amount of Muay Thai fights. So
Yeah, those Muay Thai fights, I mean, Jesus Christ, if he's a Muay Thai fighter, he was probably
he
fighting
hit-
at 11, 12.
well, he's Brazilian, I think. But he hit you with the small gloves, bro.
Yeah.
He fucking. Oh man, I've seen it a couple of times, and I'm like, man, that was pretty harsh.
It was pretty harsh, but I didn't think it was face breaking harsh.
Well,
But then again, I mean, the same thing, like remember when Michael Venom Page caved in Cyborg's forehead?
Yeah, it was his skull, bro.
Yeah.
Broke his fucking skull.
Broke his skull. And that just looked like a standard knee that you could see on just about any fight night.
Right.
But then you see the x-ray, you're like, holy shit, dude, you've got a hole in your head.
Yeah.
You almost killed a man.
I'm just glad he didn't die, bro.
Oh, yeah, because I mean, that
could have
dude,
killed him, yeah.
Yeah. There was brain trauma on that one.
Well, he came back to slap Gordon. Gordon didn't appreciate that.
Yes. Did you see Nikki and Uriah Faber have a match coming up?
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
I feel bad for Uriah.
Yeah, I kind of do too.
Let's face it, man. That kid is on a tear too.
Yeah, him and his brother.
It's like it's like the new Game of Thrones is gonna be the lives of Nikki Ryan and Gordon Ryan and Nikki,
Gary.
No, Gary's on a different path. But
He is, but well, I mean, Gordon wants to go the same path.
I understand, but Nikki's gonna be looking to dethrone his brother at some point and be like, "I'm the motherfucking best, motherfucker."
Yeah, I think so, but I think it's going to be in a few years.
Imagine if they do like a brother against brother match,
They will eventually. Well, I don't know because they may not have to because of weight.
like the WWE back in the day when they did the Hart Foundation.
Oh.
Owen against Brett, brother against brother, first time ever.
Well, but then the Steiners had to go against each other too.
Yeah, but that was
after.
the Hart Foundation was first though.
Yeah, for sure.
They were the ones making history, not the Steiners.
No, even though Steiners were a badass tag team.
I was reading online that Scott Steiner was like a real bully in the back, and like he would hate other wrestlers and shit.
Yeah, I heard he wasn't a good guy.
Yeah. Apparently, still not a good guy.
Yeah.
Even though he like 97 years old.
Yeah.
Man, I was listening to that shit. Who was I listening to? I think it was Matt Hardy talking about it in some podcast, and I'm like, fuck, what a fucking douchebag. So
Yeah.
I kind of lost a little respect for Scott Steiner, the big bad booty daddy,
Yeah.
big Papa Pump.
The Bulldog.
No, that was Rick Steiner.
I thought that was Scott Steiner.
No,
Really?
yeah, his brother was the one that barked. Rick.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow. Because I would have went complete opposite on who would have been the douchier one.
No, apparently he's like super nice. But,
Wow.
But he's like that's his brother, so he wasn't gonna say or do anything.
Yeah, you're kind of stuck.
Apparently, Rick Steiner is a realtor somewhere in Michigan.
I'm sorry, I'm not buying a house from Steiner Brothers.
Why not? I mean, what if you know?
Because if the closing doesn't go through,
He clothesline you.
Yeah. I find an issue with the tile, or I say, man, I just don't really like this paint color. You know, some stupid shit like that. He'll just come out and fucking clothesline you, pin you, and be like, nah, you know what? I'm done. I don't want this.
I liked it when his brother was not in WCW yet, but he was like the Varsity Club. It was him and Mike Rotunda. They made a pretty good tag team back in the day.
But didn't he go heel there for a while too?
Yeah, he was heel for a little while.
Because he wore like the chainmail kind of cap and
well,
stuff.
that's Scott Steiner. We're talking about Rick Steiner. You are so fucking confused, bro.
I am. Hold on.
Jesus Christ.
At least they made it to the Hall of Fame.
Oh, awesome.
Okay, so that's okay. Scott Steiner refuses to go into the WWE Hall of Fame.
Okay, well, cool.
Yeah, see, I would have thought Scott Steiner. Scott Steiner was the ass, right?
Yeah.
Okay, no, that's the one. That's the one I look at and be like, okay, yeah, no, that guy's an ass. Because the other brother was definitely more All American looking, had the hair.
That's Scott Steiner.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. God damn it. Rick Steiner had the big old mustache, wore the headgear. God, you don't know your Steiner brothers.
I must not.
You suck at this.
I do. Now I gotta look him up.
Scott Steiner had a long mullet back in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then he cut it.
So that's Scott Steiner and that's Rick Steiner.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jesus Christ.
Okay, I'm on the page now.
You don't know your wrestlers.
I really don't.
You know, AEW, that wrestling promotion based out of Jacksonville,
Yeah.
they're going to have a show here in July. We should hit that up.
Think so?
Hell yeah.
I have never been to a wrestling event.
What?
I have never been to a wrestling event.
You got to be shitting me.
Nope, I have never
Oh,
been to a
we
wrestling
definitely
event.
got to go.
Ever. Never
Got to go.
once.
You got to see one of the goats before he retires.
Who's going to be there?
Jericho.
Oh, okay. I hear he's a really good guy.
Well, he's a good wrestler. I don't know about good guy. I mean, I haven't heard anything good or bad about him. You know, it depends whether he wants to be in character and not, want to be left alone. He's talked about it. How a kid somewhere in New York came up to him with his dad and wanted an autograph or whatever, and he stayed in character and refused to give him an autograph. But he did it so he could be hated at that show.
Yeah, because he was a heel.
Yeah.
100% heel.
Oh, he's a heel right now too. I've seen like some of the stuff that he's doing for AEW, going backstage and.
Is that the Bushwhackers?
Oh, bro, you're going way back.
The two guys look goofy as shit with the hats on sideways. Yeah. That's the Bushwhackers.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're in the Hall of Fame.
Well, why wouldn't they be?
I always thought they were kind of like a second tier.
So in the WWF, you know how they were wacky and shit?
Mm-hmm.
In Puerto Rico, they didn't play that role. They were like savages.
Oh, really?
Like, anytime they talk about the Bushwhackers, it's like, oh shit. Like, there was gonna be blood. There's gonna be chairs. There's gonna be some dirty shit.
Backyard wrestling shit.
Yeah, they were not the goofy motherfuckers from WWE.
They weren't kid friendly.
Definitely not. Definitely not. And the people will let him know about it too.
Well, that was the crazy thing. Like I guess like the bigger the stage with like the Mexican wrestling, with the mask and all like
You
that.
don't watch Mexican wrestling, bro. There's no white people in that.
I do. I've seen it. I've seen it on like ESPN4 at 2 in the morning.
Okay, whatever. All right. So anyway, continue.
But I've always heard like in the lower rankings, that shit's like brutal. It's hard. I mean, it's like bloody. It's rough. And then as they get bigger, it becomes a little more cornyish, a little more character driven.
Yeah.
And stuff. But
Well, they're trying to appeal to the whole family. You can't have somebody in a fucking fire barbed wire ring or something like that. Although in Japan, that's perfectly normal.
yeah, that's pride. That's fucking MMA fights.
You imagine if they had like the pancrase or the or the Pride Fighting Championships with barbed wire around the ropes.
I'm surprised they haven't. Honestly, I think they're missing out there. They need to get on
Well,
that.
Pride is dead, so
Yeah. Well, it turned into what is it over there?
Dream. Whatever the fuck they are. Well, I think it's rising now.
Yeah. Yeah. After somebody who the fuck is that? Is that the Canadian, the Mountie?
Oh my God, the Mountie, Jack Rougeau.
Yeah, I'm just looking at all these images when I looked them up, and it's just it's got a whole bunch of different wrestlers. There's the Mountie. Who's the Olympic wrestler? Kurt Angle. Kurt Angle.
Yeah, he just retired after like 20 fucking years of wrestling.
And I see the
You suck. You suck.
Of course, the nicest guy ever, Cena.
Da, 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 da.
Yeah, you do that, Tyler will be coming up these fucking stairs.
And his name is.
Yep. Did you call me?
Cena.
Who is this guy? I remember him, but I don't remember. That's Bret Hart. Okay.
That's Owen Hart.
Okay. Well, it came up as Bret Hart.
No, wait. That's the British Bulldog.
Yeah. Bret Hart signed petition. Okay, for the British Bulldog. Okay.
Yeah. Talking about, man. I know my wrestlers.
You do. You do.
I used to watch that shit nonstop. I actually stopped watching like around 2005. After I started watching MMA.
What you mean the mystique of the real wrestling?
Well,
disappeared?
I started to see that the storylines were all so repetitive and
yeah. That was Brutus the Beefcake Barber, right?
Brutus the Barber Beefcake. Okay.
Because he had that fucking Chippendale bow tie.
Fag. He also had like the spandex, and on the side he was like cut off. We had like mesh. You could almost see like half of his butt cheek.
Yeah.
Like, bro, put on some real spandex. I don't want to see your culo.
The women loved it though.
Okay.
Yeah.
He just got inducted into the Hall of Fame not that long ago.
Yeah. Let's see, what was the 2018 Hall of Fame? Who's that?
Pull him up. That's
Owen Hart.
Yeah.
God, how many Hart brothers were in? It was just Owen and...
Owen and Brad. Jim Neidhart was brother-in-law, I believe.
Oh, is that Hacksaw? No, that's not Hacksaw.
That's
Hillbilly Jim.
Yeah. Bro, talk about some corny ass character coming out dancing to that shit that y'all dance to in Callahan.
Oh my God! Please tell me at least like Hacksaw Jim Duggan's in the Hall of Fame.
Oh, he probably is.
And Junkyard Dog.
Oh,
I think all those guys from back in those
the
days.
80s. Yeah.
Remember the cartoon?
Yeah, of course.
Oh.
Of course, every Saturday morning.
Now, see, you call me racist and everything, but the Junkyard Dog was like my favorite wrestler.
Yeah,
back
well,
in those days.
you used to probably saw him as a token black guy.
I didn't even know what that meant back then, bro.
Yeah, okay.
I didn't. I was just an innocent white kid.
Yeah, your pappy probably told you, hey, that's affirmative action right there.
Why is Kid Rock in these images? What the fuck? Get out of here.
Well, he's like performed a couple of songs at WrestleManias and
Jeff
shit like
Jarrett.
that. Oh my God, Double J.
Yeah, I got the big JJ on the cowboy hat.
Woo. He was a good heel, man. He used to annoy the fuck out of me, but again, good
Well, then-
heel.
Yeah, then you know he's a good heel.
Yeah,
Let's see, who was that? I know that.
that's
face.
Lex Luger.
Okay.
Dude, I don't know if you've seen Lex Luger nowadays, but
Nah.
skinny as fuck.
Oh,
And
really?
like could barely walk and shit. All those years of roids. And like him, you could tell. Like he had like little bumps in his
Like abdomen,
abdomen and on his back.
little injection sites.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, come on, you can't say that.
But
Oh, I remember this.
although
Bam Bam.
he did have a body on him.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
I remember him, Bam Bam Bigelow.
Yeah, he did too.
Is he?
Yep.
I remember him because I remember the head tattoo. He was like one of the first people you ever saw
Yeah,
with a head tattoo.
You
were
never
like,
saw that shit, bro.
No, you were like, dude, this is a bad dude.
He was all tatted up.
Mm.
Man, you pulled up a whole bunch of people over there.
Yeah,
You're just going down the line.
just going down the line, bro.
Well,
Who's
see-
it? That's
Are those the inductees? That's
Mark Henry.
Mark Henry, the strongest man in the world.
yeah. Good lord, just remembering some of all these characters from back in the
Man,
day.
I used to love wrestling.
Batista.
Like I want to get back into it, but you know, it's like the WWE right now is. I don't want to put them down, but I just can't get into it.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things where it's almost like once you lose the passion for it, it's
Yeah.
real tough to try to like. Because I do know like some of the guys that are my age that are really into it,
Mhm.
they're not into it so much. I guess they're more into the story. It's almost like guy soap opera. You know, they look for the stories and the little hidden messages and all this shit.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? What? You know.
I just can't get into it anymore. That's why I'm so excited to see something new like AEW, and you know, coming out of Jacksonville, of course, I'm gonna support it.
Yeah, but I mean, what is it going to do that's going to be new and different than?
Listen, these guys put this company together on a whim. I mean, it was Cody and the Young Bucks, and they wanted to bring independence to another level, basically. So they did a pay-per-view on their own, you know, with no other promotion, you know, no WWE, no nothing. It was just three guys. They put on a pay-per-view with all the top talent from the independents, and they sold it out.
Really?
And that's basically how AEW was born. I was talking to my brother, and he was telling me that you know how in the WWE they're considered independent contractors, so they have to pay for their own hotels,
Yeah.
cars, and all that. Apparently in AEW, these guys are going to have benefits. They're going to be employees. So if you're under contract, you know, you have like health benefits and shit like that. And they're paying pretty decent to the point where a lot of guys are not renewing their contract with WWE.
Really?
They're just waiting for it to expire so they can jump ship. He's been getting back into it more than I am. So he's been keeping me up to date as to what's going on. So
That's old wrestling.
what are you looking up there?
The Hall of Fame Legacy inductees for 2018. I've never heard of any of these guys.
What are their names? I can't.
Boris Malenka,
That's Dean Malenko's dad, I believe.
Stan the Mask Stanzik,
I've heard of him, yes.
Hiro Masudo, Jim
Matsudo, yes.
Lindis, Sputnik Monroe. I have heard of him just because of the name Sputnik.
I have not heard of Sputnik.
Rufus R. Jones,
I have heard of Rufus.
Lord Alfred
Fred
Hayes,
Hayes. Yep.
Dara Singh, Cora Combs, and El Santo.
El Santo. Yeah, he's a Mexican wrestler.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Obviously.
Does he have his mask on?
He does.
Okay.
Of course he does. Come on. I did see something a while back about, like, I guess there were two Mexican wrestlers who were, like, huge. They actually had their own TV show where they were, like, crime fighters. So they were in...
It must have been in Mexico.
Oh, it was. It was for sure in Mexico. But it was just... It was like almost... You remember the Batman from the 60s?
Yeah.
That style show?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
That's what it was,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it was Mexican wrestlers were the main heroes.
Who were the wrestlers? Let me guess. Was it
Oh,
Blue
fuck.
Demon and Mil Máscaras?
Golden like outfit. One was the Blue Demon because he always had the blue suit on
Okay.
and the mask. But the other one was a much bigger dude, gold.
Probably Mil Máscaras. Because he would have 1,000 masks.
Okay. So now, did they not have this kind of thing in? I guess that's purely a just because to me that's kind of a
They had
Latin-
them. They had the movies though, where I think it was El Santo. No, it was either Blue Demon or Mil Máscaras had some movies, and they would make it to Puerto Rico and like on a Sunday afternoon.
But I
they
mean,
were
was that just a purely Mexican theme?
yeah,
The
kinda.
masks and everything.
Yeah,
Like for
well-
the wrestling in Puerto Rico, they didn't have.
Well,
that?
in Puerto Rico, there was. Let me see. They had the super medics. They wore masks.
The
and-
super medics.
Los super médicos.
Okay.
Yeah, but translation, the super medics.
Okay.
And it was an all white mask, and on the side it had that logo where it's like the snake curling.
Like the nurse logo.
Yeah,
Okay.
that, and it was on the sides, and that was pretty fucking dope. Who else had mask? The Invaders,
The Invaders.
and that's their actual name, the Invaders. And their mask was pretty dope. That was my favorite mask.
Mm.
Yep. Like if I could find a mask right now, I'll probably snag one. Oh, here you go. You gonna go on eBay or something? Type in Invader Puerto Rico wrestler. See what comes up.
Let's see. Oh, we got a picture from a guy wrestling.
Let me see.
Just a,
That's it.
Is it?
Yep.
All right, that crazy wrestling match. Invaders number 3 versus Manny Fernandez.
Oh my God.
Blood everywhere.
I remember that shit. Bro, I was a kid. Bro, I'm telling you, I did not miss a show.
Now, okay, so the way it's kind of looking, because I'm looking here, you've got Jose Gonzalez.
That's Invader number 1.
Invader number 1. Then
Yep.
you had Invader 3.
Yep.
So what was it? Just like if you had the
They were-
mask,
they
you were
were-
an invader.
Well, they were a tag team.
Well, then who was 2?
2, I don't know who 2 was. I think it began with 1 and 2. Something happened with 2, and then 3 came into the picture.
Okay.
3 got hurt, and then Jose's brother, Maelo, became number 4.
Invaders Task Force. No.
No, that's something else, bro. Damn, we're going down a rabbit hole of wrestling here.
For sure, right?
I mean, fuck. Type in Invader 4 and you'll see.
There's the old.
Well, I don't know if you, well, do you remember Brewster Brody?
I remember the name. I can't picture him, but I do the
Well,
name.
pull him up. You'll see.
What is it?
Brewster Brody.
That guy?
Remember him now?
Yes. Oh my
Sick-
God! Look at his fucking forehead.
He was like 6'6", 250 pounds, 260 pounds.
Mm. Stan Henson, Bruiser Brody,
That was a great tag team back in the day.
and samurai outfits.
That was when they were probably going to
Probably
Japan.
in Japan. Yeah. Oh, dude, that's some old school shit.
That is.
I mean, look at that picture. That's some old school wrestling
Fuck
shit.
yeah. Yep. Stan Hansen had the lariat clothesline that would knock people out. That was fucking dope.
Oh man.
So Brewster Brody was killed by the Invader number 1.
Really? Like legit killed?
Yeah, like
Oh shit.
he gutted him.
No, oh, like in a wrestling match or like on
no,
the streets?
no, in the dressing room.
No shit.
Yeah, apparently the story goes. Oh, hold on. I have to say allegedly
Okay.
because nothing was ever proven. But the story goes is that Brewster Brody was kind of hard to work with in Puerto Rico, at least, and he didn't want to put people over. You know, so some of the guys were upset. You know that he didn't want to do business, as they call it.
Right.
and the invader set him up, called him up into the dressing room, and he
Stabbed him several stab wounds to the stomach.
Yep.
July 17th, 1988.
Yep.
In a Puerto Rican locker room.
Yep.
Teddy Atlas was there.
Tony Atlas.
I'm sorry, yeah, Tony Atlas.
Yep.
Witnessing the murder.
Yep.
Woo.
He was the only one that came forward to help Brewster Brody out. Everybody else just kind of, well, the story goes that everybody just stood around and they didn't do anything. Tony Atlas was supposed to be the only one that helped him out.
Wow.
But again, allegedly.
Yeah.
I was a kid. I was 12 years old, so I don't really know what happened. All I know is that the invader was gone for a little while. You didn't see him on TV anymore, and you would read on the newspapers about the case and all that, but he never did any prison time.
No shit.
No. I don't know what happened. And to this day, even when they try to like do a documentary and investigate what really, really happened, nobody wants to talk.
Well, Viceland did a thing on it.
Yeah, but they didn't get to the conclusion of it.
Really? Wow.
They didn't get to what really happened because nobody wanted to talk.
Damn.
Like they would call like the people in charge of the case, and they wouldn't give out any information. Like even to this day, you call and you try to ask about the case or whatever, and they won't give you any information about it.
Not going to turn on a hometown hero.
Which is basically what Vice, because I saw the Viceland documentary.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It was good, man. You should watch it.
That's crazy.
Oh, speaking of documentaries, Rogan had also Ed Calderon.
I know. That's actually queued up. I'm listening to that.
Oh, my God. That was such a fucking great podcast.
Because I've been following him on Instagram for probably about 3 years.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I got turned on to him from the Shark Work, or the guys who do a lot of the self-defense, Knife Works, and Shiv Works.
Okay,
I got
Shiv
turned
Works,
on from Shiv Works from him. So I've been following him and reading all the stuff he puts on Instagram, the counter custody stuff, and he's been like really pushing for like the last year wanting to come on, especially when.
Rogan follows him on Instagram.
Yeah, but I guess a couple months back, Rogan had a Mexican journalist on the podcast, and he was talking about the cartel stuff, and Ed was going fucking nuts on Instagram, going, "This dude's wrong. All this shit's wrong. This is not how it happened. This is, please, God, get me on the podcast to fix this."
Yeah.
So I literally, when I saw it, I watched about 15 minutes of it on YouTube, and I was like, just stop. I'm going to listen to it on the way to Atlanta.
It was fucking great.
I hope it is.
No. It is.
Good.
It is. Like, when I get home, I want to see that documentary that he was talking about. It's called Mexico's Bravest.
I've seen that.
Is it good?
Yes.
Have you seen Cartel Land?
Let me rephrase. I have seen Cartel Land. I have not seen the other one.
Okay.
So
Cartel Land was good.
Cartel Land was good too, but then it also showed how good guys fall. That's the part that sucked about Cartel Land. Bro,
I was like, wow, good for you.
Yeah.
Stand up for the people.
Yeah.
Do the right thing. And at the end, he was just a scumbag.
Yeah. It's fucking heartbreaking because you were like, dude, this guy wants to clean shit up.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh, no, he really doesn't.
Yeah, he just wants to
He
lay
wants
pipe.
his cut.
Yeah.
Or and he wants to fucking get some poon.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was that kind of sucked. But
man, I was so disappointed after watching that.
But it was, that's a snapshot into how it really is. I guess, as they say, absolute power corrupts.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I do remember watching that. I watched that. God, that's when I probably watched that documentary 2 years ago.
Yeah, I watched it a couple years ago too, and I thought it was great up until the end. And I'm like, motherfucker.
Well, that's how you know it's a good thing, because you get invested in it. And
I know, right?
And then when the tables turn, you're like, fuck.
But, he was also, Ed Calderon was also talking about El Chapo and how, they glorify him. But he's doing more for his community with hospitals, schools, and shit like that than the government is.
Yeah. Well,
so how do you expect the people to turn on somebody who's taking care of you and taking care of the community?
That's just like there's a couple small towns here in Florida and the Gulf Coast. The only reason why they're there was because the cartels basically built them. They were small little podunk nothings.
Yeah.
They're the ones that came in there and put like
Money.
money into
it, yeah.
into them, built the infrastructure for this place.
Mhm.
You know, gave them a police force, gave them, you know, medical services and shit like
Yeah.
that. All they have to do, we're going to give you all this. All you have to do is when you see our boat come in, just turn the other way.
Yeah.
Let the boat go. And they did it. And I mean those towns are still there. You know, they're not being used the same way, but that's how they were started.
I would find it really hard to turn on somebody who is helping myself and the community. You know, whether they're doing the things that they're doing.
Well, it's
You know,
because
because-
that was when it was, I guess you can't say honest work, but I mean that's when it wasn't cartel war like it is now.
Well, you got to remember too, you know, a lot of the things that happen that are really bad, it's within the drug business.
Yeah.
It's not like they're taking the people from their community and, you know, slaying them.
Yeah.
You
But
know?
a lot of people do get caught in the crossfire.
Yeah, they do, which is very unfortunate,
Yeah.
you know.
Because
But
I'm sure Ed talked about Tijuana a good bit.
Oh yeah.
You know, and about how, you know, the people of Tijuana, they don't want that, but it's everywhere. And I mean, they're having gun battles in the streets and shit like
Yeah.
that, you know?
Well, I show you the video from Puerto Rico.
Oh,
didn't
yeah.
I?
Yeah.
That was horrible.
Yeah. That's probably like every fucking day in Tijuana.
Well, Tijuana's back to the #1 most dangerous city in the world.
Yeah. And it ain't because of the donkey shows. It's because of fucking cartels.
Well, you know.
But there again, it's one of those things where I think back in those days it was more. I think you had mainly like one cartel who was doing most all the moving, so they really didn't have competition to have to battle it. And
We've seen Narcos Mexico, yes.
yeah,
I'm actually looking. You know, a lot of people did not like Narcos Mexico. I thought it was a good show. You know,
I haven't watched it.
you haven't.
I have not.
I-
I watched first season of Narcos and then I stopped.
Well-
I got sidetracked.
I loved the first 3 seasons with Pablo Escobar.
Mhm.
I really enjoyed the show.
He's another one where, like, I mean, yeah, he was a horrible drug boss, but I mean, look at what he did for his community.
Yeah.
You know.
Same thing, yeah.
Yeah. It's a real. It becomes where, you know, everybody's like, oh, there's good
Granted,
and bad.
but at one point I think they wanted him out because he was creating too much chaos.
Yeah,
you know,
for sure.
the bombs, you know, the assassination of political,
Yeah.
you know, figures. You know, it got a little out of hand, and the show showed all that.
Yeah.
You know,
But
but,
he brought-
yeah, he was another one who was helping out his community.
Yeah, I think they all start out like that, but then
Yeah.
it gets to a point, you know. But hey, he brought hippos to, you know, South America. They're still there.
I heard. Hey, I saw the Grand Tour show where they were talking about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and they're referenced as Pablo Escobar's hippos.
Yeah.
These are his hippos.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, they've bred and they've, you know,
Yeah.
they're a big community there. It's like they're not hippos; these are Pablo Escobar's hippos.
Yeah.
You know.
He had a big old hacienda,
Yes, he did.
but you know, I mean,
But you learn there's gray.
yeah,
not
yeah,
every-
there
not-
is.
not
right.
everything's
It's
black,
and white. Yeah,
There's
you
gray.
Yeah, yeah.
That's why I don't think there's always, you know, I do think there's good people. I do think there's bad people. But then I think there are a vast majority of people who are just gray.
You know, in the media, these guys are painted, you know, as bad, as
Yeah.
evil. But on these shows, they show like a more human side of them, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And when you hear some people talk about them, yeah, there was a caring part somewhere in there where they took care of their community, you know,
Yeah.
with the hospitals, the schools, you know, shit like that. So I mean,
And they catch a lot of fucking heat whenever they show that too. Like
Yeah.
I do remember Narcos. There were a lot of people who were upset with the first season of Narcos because they did not like the way that they
were
portrayed
portraying him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're portraying him too nice. You're portraying him. You know, he was a, you know, a murderous. You know,
Well,
this and that.
let's put it to you this way: if you're not in the drug business, then you most likely are not going to come across them.
No,
If you're in that business,
you're gonna come across that.
then you're playing a very dangerous game.
Yeah.
Especially if you want something that he has, you know, like routes and
Mhm.
you know,
Yeah, you're not just gonna
Cocaine.
you're not gonna go sit down and have a talk and go, hey man, I really want to.
A piece of your action.
Yeah, I want to
yeah.
do these routes. You know, it's closer to my house.
Yeah.
It's easier. How about you just give them to me? And he's gonna be like, you know what? That makes sense.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna give
Yeah.
you that $360 million I make.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, you can have that.
Sure.
Yeah, go ahead.
You know,
have it.
it's been costing me too much in fuel to really hit those parts. It's
Right.
fine. The logistics are just crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I think you put it perfectly. There is a gray area, and
Yep.
for Escobar and El Chapo, them helping their communities, it's almost admirable, that you would take care of your community when the government isn't.
Well, that's one of the things that a lot of people they didn't.
And people, please don't get me wrong. I'm not condoning, violence and, shooting other people and hanging them and cutting their heads off. No. I'm not saying none of that. I'm saying that at least these guys had enough of a heart
Yeah.
to take care of their community and people that needed medical services and, schools for their kids and shit like that.
Well, that's why it was so hard to really get the mafia, because the mafia they took care of their neighborhoods.
Yeah.
They took care of their people. They policed their neighborhoods. Shit didn't happen in their neighborhoods that happened in other places.
Why is it now called a cartel when it's really like a mafia?
I think cartel just came from Latin America. That's the mafias from south of the equator and in Mexico. They're just called cartels.
Okay.
I don't really think there's a difference between a cartel and a mafia.
It's a family.
It's a family.
It's a syndicate.
Yeah, basically. Maybe a mafia is more family lined, because progression
True.
through the mafia was definitely based more on family whereas I think more cartels is probably more chosen and deeds and stuff like that. But I mean, nobody. A lot of people didn't have ill will towards the mafia. Law enforcement did, but the people in the communities and stuff like that, they wouldn't turn on them. They wouldn't say anything about them.
No. Well, they knew better too.
Well, they knew better, but they also knew.
Snitches get stitches.
True. But they also knew that their neighborhoods and their communities were taken care of and were
Yeah.
safe
Yeah.
because the mafia was there. You didn't have guys slinging crack and shit like that in
Although
the mafia
Whitey
neighborhood.
Bulger, I heard that he was a little.
Yeah.
loose cannon.
There's where I think you start getting to their, a lot of people are gray,
Yeah.
and then you have somebody who's just evil.
Yeah.
And that was,
I heard that he died a horrific death in jail.
yes, he did. Yep.
Like
They
that
caved his face in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's horrible. He was in his 80s, I think.
Yep. 80s, and I think it was the first day he got put in Gen Pop.
Oh my God.
And the first
I
day,
mean, they had to know that some shit like that was going to happen.
I think so. Yeah. I mean, you're if you work at a prison, you know who can be around who, what can be around what, and what's going to happen if these two things intermingle, and it's just like,
Fucking Tommy Chong was making it seem like jail was great, but
maybe for him.
I'm sure he didn't go to the same jail that some of these people are going to.
No, he probably went to a jail in California.
They're talking
and-
about they had like a pool hall.
Yeah.
They played tennis.
Yeah, he was probably in a very minimum security, almost halfway house style place.
Fuck. He said he was sad to leave. I'm like, man, I'd be like fucking stoked. Although he got put in that shit for something stupid.
Yeah.
Selling bongs. Come on.
Yeah.
And look at him today, selling weed.
Exactly.
Legally.
That's what's crazy.
Legally in 5 countries.
Yeah. That's what's crazy is like if they do, I think that's one of the big hangups on why they're having a real hard time federally legalizing marijuana is because of the amount of people who are in jail on marijuana charges.
You got to let him go.
That's the thing. How do you do that? Because that's going to be
You let them go.
that's going to be like 50% of the prison population.
Good.
Yeah.
Because a lot of those guys are nonviolent criminals.
Well, they may have went in as nonviolent.
Well, I mean, you're fighting for your life at some point
Yeah,
in there.
for sure.
You release all those guys that went in for nonviolent crimes.
Well, and that's why the guards unions and all like that are really fighting against it, especially the private prisons and stuff. 'Cause
Yeah, but prison for profit.
Yeah,
They're going to lose money.
exactly.
But all those people do not deserve to be there for
No.
fucking weed.
No, they don't.
Jails are for criminals who commit heinous crimes.
Yes.
You know?
Robbery, murder, rape,
Yeah,
assaults.
exactly.
You know, crimes where there's actual victims.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, selling weed. You know, I mean, unless it's weed laced with some fentanyl and shit, which I mean that is an issue nowadays. That's the scary thing. I was talking to one of my buddies who smokes, and I was like, bro, I wouldn't even know where to like if I wanted to smoke, I wouldn't even know where to buy it. I was like, because
Boats and Roses
well, I mean, it's
in
just
California.
it gets crazy because there's been quite a few busts where weeds they've tested it, it's been laced with fucking fentanyl.
But here's the question: why would somebody who's selling weed want to kill
Yeah, I don't know.
his clientele?
I don't know. I don't know if the fentanyl offers, you know, if it's one of those things where a little bit of fentanyl offers this
An
feeling,
extra high.
but then if you go just a bit too far, you start killing people, dropping dead because that fentanyl shit's. I mean, that shit is dangerous.
Well, it's a fucking chemical.
I mean, there's been cops that have dropped dead from it from just touching it, and getting it on their hands, and not having gloves on, not knowing that it was fucking fentanyl, and the next thing you know, they're dead. Yeah, I think that's happened 2 or 3 times now. So
Gotta wear them gloves.
you gotta wear them gloves, but I mean, Jesus Christ, you're dealing with something where just the touch of it on your skin.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember there was a guy we used to laugh about it. He OD'd, but he died because he ran into traffic.
And
But-
you were laughing at him for
Well, because the reason why he did is he bought
Was he black?
no, he went and bought a sheet of acid, stuck it in his back pocket, and was walking down the street in the middle of summer.
Oh, and he seeped through the pants.
Seeped through the pants, sweated, and all like that. So basically,
Oh, he got his spores. Yeah.
he got a dose of a full sheet, like 100 hits of acid. Ran out into fucking traffic on 103rd Street and just took a fucking header right into a truck.
Ah.
Yeah.
Kind of like Sons of Anarchy.
Mm-hmm.
I knew he was going to do that. I fucking knew that he was going to do that because he wanted to go out like his dad.
Yeah. But yeah, because I mean, I'd done well. Never mind. We'll pump the brakes on that story.
Yeah, let's not talk about that. God, we went down a fucking rabbit hole.
I know. How'd we go from wrestling to fucking cartels and all
Well,
like that?
I have no idea. Shit, did you see that Paulie Malignaggi spit on
I did.
Artem Lobov?
Then hit him with the mic. Kinda like
Yeah.
bopped him on the head.
Dude, these guys really don't like each other.
No, they don't.
He's like, stand back, bro. Stand back.
I know. He looks.
Stand back. Don't get close.
Him with that fucking hat and that suit.
Don't
and
get
everything.
close.
Don't get close.
And all of a sudden, you're like, I warned you. I warned you. That was,
Did you hear Rogan say that he's changed his stance about the bare knuckle fights?
yeah. He thinks now there's a
Yeah, a little bit of padding's good.
Yeah, a little bit. Because he was for a long time, he was a proponent of no
Yeah.
gloves.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, but he also wanted it a big open area.
Yeah, he wanted like a football field. And shit like
Yeah.
that. Yeah,
Bro.
you can't do that.
No.
You can't do that. But I mean, it's interesting to see where because he was a proponent of that for a good 2 years.
At least.
Where he talked about it
Every fight night that we
Yeah.
talk about it.
every fucking fight night. Because even it became a joke. Yeah, you wanted to fight the fucking football field. You know?
Yeah.
But now that he's seen a couple of the bare knuckle fights, I mean, he is right. It destroys their faces.
Well, the next one is here in Tampa. Well, I say here, but it's in Tampa. I believe June 22nd, and that's when they're fighting.
Yeah. I mean, I watched Liebens fight, bare knuckle fight. Jesus Christ.
They're gonna have it on pay-per-view, but I'm not sure I want to pay $30 for that.
Yeah.
Maybe $9.99, but
I don't know.
But $30.
I mean, I'll have to look and see how many fights are on that card. If you give me 7 fights, I might drop 30 for it just to watch a bare knuckle fight.
That's kind of brutal, man. I don't.
It is, but it's something different than the UFC.
Oh, I know.
But
you also have one championship
True.
or Bellator if you want something different.
True. Yeah, but I mean that's still.
Boxing,
Yeah,
wrestling.
but I mean, is bare knuckle? Do you put it in? I mean, I'm trying to say. I mean, do you put bare knuckle in the same category as MMA?
Not really.
Yeah. So say, I mean, you're getting a different product.
It's like almost like boxing, but not.
Yeah. I mean, because an MMA is a fight. Boxing is a fight. Okay, well, bare knuckles, these are fights too, but these are like fights on a different level. It seems. It feels like it. I don't know if it's
Well,
just because it's a more visceral. It's
just more dangerous to me.
well, I don't know if I feel it's more dangerous, but it's
I think-
definitely more bloody.
Well, it's more, dude. I mean, you have no protection.
No.
The glove gives you a little bit of padding.
Yeah.
You know, and then boxing gloves gives you a whole lot of padding.
Yeah.
Although, you know, somebody punches you with a boxing glove, he's gonna fucking hurt.
Yeah.
Especially.
But I mean, the whole concept behind the glove was so you could hit harder. It wasn't for protection. It was so that because remember that was Tank Abbott was one of the ones who first started coming out with gloves because he realized he could tape his hands, put gloves on, and he could hit a motherfucker harder and not have to worry about breaking his hands. So that was
You're still gonna break your hands.
You are, but you
that,
could,
that wasn't.
but you don't have to worry so much about your wrist. You don't have, because everything's taped up. You know, it wasn't they didn't do gloves for protection at first. I think really it was
In order to be considered a real sport
yeah.
by commission,
Yeah, I think they
you
had
needed
to.
you needed some sort of padding.
Well, I mean, the first couple UFCs didn't have gloves.
Oh, I know.
They were bare.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And I mean, they allowed fucking groin strikes and
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
Jesus.
That,
one dude,
that was brutal.
that one dude, I don't know what his name is, but he never had kids. There's no way he had kids. Yeah. Dude twisted his fucking nuts like a pretzel.
Yeah. That was dirty.
It was, but it was a fight.
They should at least say no striking to the nuts, no gouging of the eyes, and no fish hooking. That should have been it.
Yeah, because if you ever seen a real fish hook put on somebody, that's bloody as fuck. Because you rip the side of their face off.
Yeah.
You know, that's horrible.
Why so serious?
But yeah, I'll have to look it up because I mean, if it's a decent amount of fights, I might actually drop 30.
30.
If I do, I'll call you up. Be like, yeah, well, I'm doing it.
June 22nd.
I don't even know where to get it on though. Where I don't know if I'd have to
Bro.
bounce it off my iPad onto the Apple TV or what.
Probably Fight TV.
I have to see if there's an app.
Yeah, there is an app
Is it?
for Fight TV.
I have to see if I can get it on my Apple TV and just go straight from there.
I have it on my Fire Stick.
Okay.
I just don't buy the pay-per-views. They have all kinds of. They have boxing, kickboxing, MMA, wrestling. They have all kinds of shit on Fight TV.
Yeah, see, like now I just go, a lot of times if I want to watch fights, I still just go to my Fight Pass and just go look and see Alaskan Fighting League or, one of those. Hell, I was watching PFL last night.
Oh, how was that? I forgot about it.
It wasn't bad. It was some pretty good fights.
I was doing the virtual tour and I got sidetracked because I was researching all kinds of shit. And when I look at the clock, I'm like, fuck, I got to be up in 5 hours.
Yeah, right?
I'm like, I got to go to bed.
Yeah, that was me last night. Like me and Tyler. He got some Legos for his birthday, so he didn't have to go to school today. So he spent basically I picked him up yesterday. From the moment he got home till when he finally wrapped it up at 11, he was doing nothing but building that Lego set.
Which was what?
It's from the video game Overwatch. It's one of the maps, and it's got a giant shuttle and stuff. So he's big into Overwatch, which was cool because as he was building his Overwatch Legos, they actually had the Overwatch League on ESPN. And Amanda was kind of going, "What the fuck is this?" I'm like, "This is esports. This is huge. If you don't know, esports is huge. It really is. I mean, they sell NFL numbers to these events."
Well, it's 5:15. Your wife should be home soon.
Yes, she should be.
And you guys are about to head to ATO!
Yep. I go this weekend, then I get a break, and then
then-
I think me and you go.
2 weeks, June 7th.
Yep. So I'll drive. And then
We're going to go see Uncle Joey, cocksuckers.
Uncle Joey. Yeah. At the I think it's at the
Tabernacle, yeah.
Yeah. This will be the second time I've been to the Tabernacle.
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
It's gonna be
We're
good.
going to be riding that Tesla, aren't we?
Yeah, I think so. I think they'll be there.
Yeah.
I think dads will be there. I'm not sure about moms yet.
That's cool.
So we'll be in the S.
Yeah.
Because Dad already got rid of the Audi. Oh, yeah. Well, he found out he needed a new battery. We were talking about it the other day. So they needed a battery for the Audi.
Uh-huh.
So he priced it out through Audi. So what it's going to cost?
Yeah.
It's going to cost like $700 fucking dollars.
Why?
Because the battery, they have to completely reprogram the car once they hook the new battery up. the battery is underneath the front seat, so they actually have to remove the fucking front seat. Yeah, it's crazy what it costs.
Which Audi did he have?
Q7.
Oh,
Yeah,
no wonder.
yeah. It was the high end one.
I think it's a beast.
Oh yeah, and diesel, So, but he was like $700. Fuck you, no. So, so he went to like AutoZone or
Suck
some
my
shit.
ass! I'm buying a new car because of it.
Yeah, so I think he went to AutoZone or something, and checked in with them. It's like, yeah, can you do a battery for? Because a lot of these places, if you buy a battery, they'll install it.
Yeah.
So he like, I need a new battery. They're like, yeah, cool. What is it? He told him what it was. They're like, yeah, no, we don't do those. You got to go to Audi.
Yeah, they don't have the programming
No.
systems and all that shit.
So then Dad was kind of like, yeah, fuck it, selling it. It's gone. He sent me a text. He's like, FYI, Audi's gone. So we'll be doing 2 vehicles this weekend everywhere we go.
2 vehicles? Why?
Well, because we've got Mom, Dad, Amanda, me, the kids, and then my grandmother's up there.
Ah.
So there's, 7 of us. So the Q could fit 7 back in,
Back in the day.
yeah, 3, and then 2.
Yeah.
Well, my truck can't fit 7,
Yeah.
and Mom's Lexus can't fit 7. So we'll have to probably do girls in the Lexus, and then me, Dad, and Tyler will be in the truck.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Manly truck.
manly truck. I'll let Dad drive it because, one, it's a diesel, so he loves that shit.
All right.
But
Well, cool. Anything else you want to add before we go?
no, other than we really didn't talk about much other than drugs, cartels,
God damn.
wrestling.
Right?
and wrestling for an hour and a half.
This was awesome. Guys, go watch what is it? Mexico's Bravest Man and Cartel Land.
Yes.
So, anyway, also episode was brought to you by Sportzilla. We couldn't share on Sportzilla because for some reason Facebook was not allowing us to stream it.
Yeah, Facebook being dumb.
It looks like Facebook is not going to allow us to stream anymore. So it looks like we're moving to YouTube.
Yep, we'll have to do some rearranging.
Yep. So anyway, thank you very much for listening. Thank you for your support, and we'll catch you next week. Peace.